This video falls under fair use. Fair use allows commentary, criticism, and reactions. Man oh man, Stevie Boy is at it again. This time, Steven decided to sit down with Gilbert Arenas on Gil's Arena, and he couldn't resist throwing more shots at LeBron James. Like bro, at this point it's a hobby, a pastime. Steven wakes up, brushes his teeth, and yells at his coffee and finds a new way to go at LeBron before lunch. On Gil's podcast, he started doing what he does best, acting like LeBron personally stole his parking spot. The man even brought out the dramatic pauses and finger pointing like he's on a courtroom drama, and somehow Steven still acts like it's his first time realizing the man can play basketball. Anyway, let's roll the clip and then I'm going to come back with my comments. All right now.
So when you were in the arena earlier this year, talked about a situation with you and Bron in regard to some comments you made about him and Bronny.
Yep.
You spoke at length about it.
Yep.
Bron went on Pat McAfee's show, also addressed the situation. But I got to know now as it stands, what's the situation with you and LeBron and what's the relationship like?
There's no situation and there's no relationship. He doesn't like me and I don't like him.
Still, can we mediate? Can we increase the
There's
peace?
nobody that can mediate.
Okay.
It's okay. I would tell you that what I won't do is spend time the one thing that I would like to say is that I don't talk about him unless I'm asked. Now, some people say, well, why are you talking about him? Because I was asked. And this is what I do for a living. So how the hell am I going to get away with saying no comment? That doesn't work coming from Stephen A. It might work coming from somebody else. It doesn't work coming from me. But I have no desire to talk about him at all. He is, in my mind, the second greatest player in the history of basketball, who is a four-time champion, a four-time league MVP, has been an incredible ambassador for the game of basketball. His respect has been earned, not given, and nobody can deny that. But that's the basketball player, not the man. And all I would say is people don't know the things that have happened behind the scenes, things that have been said, who they've been said to, the kind of things that have been engaged in an effort to hurt me, along with contemporaries and others. There's a lot of that I know that I don't say. And there's a reason that I feel the way that I do. And the last straw was him approaching me and turning the Bronny thing into something about me attacking somebody's family when it was him I was talking about, not Bronny. And then to go on the Pat McAfee show, which comes directly on after my show on the channel that I work on, to insult me. Now, people could get into all kind of components that come with it and all of that other stuff. I have nothing to say. I'm a professional. I represent ESPN. I now represent SiriusXM. But most importantly, I represent myself. And I'm never going to denigrate any employer, any partner, or myself by getting into anything excessively, unnecessarily when it comes to him or anybody else. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to cover the game of basketball. But if I never, ever speak to him again in life, that will be okay. And I'm good with it. And that doesn't, and I want to say, I'm not encouraging anybody else to feel that way about him. His peeps, other people that have a relationship with him, players, executives, coaches, all that stuff. This is me and him. I don't want to influence anybody else's opinion about him. But if we never speak again in life, me and him, I am perfectly fine with that. But I'm man enough where if he ever wanted to speak to me, I would. But it wouldn't be the most pleasant conversation, at least initially. And that's just where I stand with it, meaning no disrespect. But there's a lot of things that have happened that he don't know I know. And that was the final straw. So that's where I'm at with it. People could take whatever they want to or whatever, but I'm not playing. I'm dead serious. It was a lot has happened. And those two moments was the last straw.
What's up, everybody? So that was Steven talking about LeBron James again. Emotional and probably sweating. Now look, I got some things to say about this. First of all, let's not act like we forgot that moment when LeBron actually stepped to Steven courtside. Remember that? When LeBron walked over mid-game, cool as ever, and Steven suddenly turned into the most respectful man in sports media? You could practically see the fear download in his brain like a Windows update. All that bark, gone. Not a woof in sight. Man looked like he wanted to apologize for every segment he ever aired. Then Steven went on his own podcast 10 hours later, acting like he'd go toe-to-toe with LeBron in a battle of words and rebounds. He started talking slick because LeBron wasn't in the room. I mean, let's keep it real. Steven only gets bold when there's a mic in front of him and he's like a podcast pitbull. But in person, Chihuahua energy. It's like every time LeBron breathes, Steven gotta have a reaction. If LeBron ties his shoe too tight, Steven says it's a sign of ego. If LeBron passes the ball, he's not built like Kobe. If LeBron scores 40, it's why didn't he get 45? Like, bro, chill. You're not getting a championship ring for being the loudest hater. Anyway, I don't know what it is. Jealousy, ratings, or just that ESPN caffeine, but Steven's obsession is starting to feel like a soap opera. And trust me, if LeBron ever decides to clap back for real, it's a wrap. One calm sentence from LeBron would leave Steven begging for mercy. So yeah, classic Steven behavior. Loud in the booth, quiet on the court. And look, I respect the entertainment value. Steven knows how to work a mic, no doubt. But at some point it stops being analysis and starts feeling like a personal vendetta. I mean, maybe LeBron turned down a interview or something. Did he not dab you up in Miami? Somebody check the tape. Because the way Steven keeps going, you'd think LeBron borrowed money and never paid it back. Let me know what y'all think. Because this feud is starting to feel less like sports commentary and more like reality television.